The new chief operating officer at Embracer Group has some big plans for the Lord of the Rings property that they now own after they acquired Middle-earth Enterprises last year. Specifically, they want to exploit the franchise. This comes amid Embracer Group announcing that they are going through a massive restructuring, and that includes layoffs and potential, or not potential, but also studio closures. So if you don't know what's going on with Embracer Group, the company CEO Lars Wingefors announced that there would be a restructuring plan and layoffs in an open letter earlier this week. They're hoping that will make the company a quote leaner, stronger, and more focused, self-sufficient company. He added this restructure will take the company from their quote current heavy investment mode to a highly cash flow generative business this year. It is also supposed to enable them to meet the worsening economy and market reality as a strong company, and it will fundamentally change their optimization of growth with raised capital towards optimization and growth based on our cash flows. Obviously, a lot of financial wording there, but he went on to say that it does include layoffs. They currently engage close to 17,000 people, and while that number will be lower by the end of the year, it is too early to give an exact forecast on this. The way that they're making this out, it looks like it's going to see significant cuts and layoffs as they get rid of people due to a number of redundancies, specifically in their HR and finances and accounting departments, because they have all of these studios that have their own independent finance departments, HR departments, and accounting departments, and they're basically going to centralize a lot of that within Embracer. Wingefors added, "It is painful to see talented members leave. Our people are what make up the very fabric of Embracer. I understand and respect that many of you will be worried about your own position, and I don't have all the answers to all questions." Obviously, that's targeted at employees. He then goes on to say this, though: "It's important to note that while we are removing roles in some companies, we will continue to hire in others. We know, understand, and respect that this is a challenging time for every person impacted. For me, communication and transparency are key, but it's also an increasingly difficult challenge in matters such as this program." He said the actions will include, but not be limited to, closing or divestments of some studios, so they might actually sell them to other companies or competitors, and the termination or pausing of some ongoing game development projects. So they're talking about shutting down studios, shutting down projects, and even selling off some studios and projects. He went on and said it will also include decreased spending on non-development costs such as overhead and other operating expenses. We will reduce third-party publishing and put greater focus on internal IP and increase external funding of large budget games. So if we get down here, during the company's press conference, the new interim chief operating officer, Matthew Karch, said, "I've been with the company for many years, and I've seen vast ways in which I think we can improve that I consider to be low-hanging fruit. I'm excited to get these plans implemented and to show some really rapid and visible results. And for that purpose, we are initiating multiple actions that are going to strengthen our cash flow generation, and that will leverage our portfolio of IP, which Lord of the Rings is one of them, which I consider to be some of the best in the world to create a stronger company." He then kind of basically went over the three phases that the company is doing that Wingefors went over in the letter. During the Q&A portion is when we get to the discussion about the Lord of the Rings. He was asked about potential growth opportunities for the company amid the restructuring. He answered in part, "With some more centralization, and I'm obviously not implying we're moving from one model to another, but we are going to incorporate elements of consolidation and centralization into certain aspects of our business. We're going to have a much better picture of the teams that are coming available, and we are going to have much better data to support product selection and to create product which is going to ultimately achieve better results than some of our past products have. And so I have a high degree of confidence that this entire process is going to easily translate into better product selection that is more profitable, and that gives us a better opportunity for growth in the future." He's hoping, at least. And that helps to leverage the IP that we own within our organization. I mean, we own the Lord of the Rings. We know we need to be exploiting, keyword there. I wonder why he used exploiting Lord of the Rings in a very significant fashion and turning it into one of the biggest gaming franchises in the world. And that's obviously something that we are going to be doing. That's a much better use of resources than some of the other projects that some of our teams have been working on. Working together, we have those opportunities, and we are super excited to put that to work relatively quickly. So that is what he has to say about Lord of the Rings. Embracer Group plans to exploit the Lord of the Rings franchise. It looks like they're going to be heavily investing in their own internal studios to create new Lord of the Rings video games. Whether or not they will be accurate to Tolkien's writings is probably already a foregone conclusion. They won't be. I doubt we'll get stuff that's actually resembles what we see in Tolkien's works. Who knows though? They might surprise me. We might get something great, but so far from what I've seen of them, it doesn't look like we're getting stuff that is actually accurate to Tolkien's writings. They have a couple mobile games that are already kind of taking massive liberties with the franchise. Not to mention the most recent Gollum game that they just released.